It all started on a crisp November morning in 2024 when I realized something was terribly wrong with my land in Jefferson County, Colorado. I'd inherited this 2.5-acre plot from my dad, who passed it down to me 20 years ago, and I'd always taken pride in keeping it pristine. As a retired surveyor, I'm obsessive about precision, so when I decided to install a new gate around the back of my property, I grabbed my old steel measuring tape and headed out to double-check the boundaries. That's when I saw a gleaming, 4-story office building, complete with a sign reading Silver Pines HOA Administrative Center, sitting right where my land should have been. I stood there, dumbfounded, staring at a structure that looked like it had been there for months, maybe a year, with manicured lawns and a parking lot big enough for 40 cars. This wasn't some overnight mistake. It was professional-grade construction, the kind that requires permits, planning, and serious money. I pulled out my property survey from 2004, kept safe in my truck's glove box, and started measuring. Every inch confirmed what I feared. This building was smack in the middle of my land. Before I could process it, a woman strode across the parking lot, clutching a navy blue clipboard like it was her lifeline. Her name was Evelyn Harper, a familiar face from neighborhood meetings, always preaching about community standards with a smug smile. Her blonde hair was tied back in a severe ponytail, and her eyes glinted with a mix of confidence and irritation. "You're trespassing on HOA property," she snapped, stopping a few feet away, her voice sharp but her hands trembling slightly. "I suggest you leave before I call security." I held up my survey, keeping my tone steady. "Ma'am, there's been a mistake. This is my land, and I've got the paperwork to prove it." Her face flickered annoyance, then a flash of something like fear before she pulled out her phone, claiming she'd checked the boundaries with her GeoMap Elite app. For the next 10 minutes, she paced around, holding her phone like a divining rod, muttering about 3-point calibrations and perfect alignment. Her readings were off by 25 feet compared to my tape measure, but she didn't flinch. "According to my data," she said, pulling out a notarized rental contract, "this building is on HOA land. But I'm reasonable. You can rent this space for $2,500 a month." I almost laughed at her audacity, but the way she kept pacing exactly 3 steps between survey markers, whispering about precise coordinates, made my skin crawl. Something was way off. Evelyn's confidence was unnerving, but her obsession with those 3 steps felt like a clue. She mentioned handling 15 similar disputes, with a smirk that suggested she'd done this before. I didn't know it then, but her little ritual would unravel a conspiracy so massive it spanned 4 states, involved $350 million in stolen property, and had the FBI circling for months. My quiet fight to reclaim my land was about to blow the lid off an interstate criminal empire. I called my old friend Dr. Nathan Brooks, a Geographic Information Systems (GIS) expert based in Denver. We'd kept in touch since college, and if anyone could spot fraud in property records, it was him. He arrived that weekend with a laptop full of tech I couldn't begin to understand. Over coffee, he scanned Evelyn's contract and my survey, running them through metadata analysis software. "This is wild," he said, pointing at his screen. Her contract was edited 52 times in the last 2 months using high-end software way beyond what a small HOA needs. He pulled up satellite images. One from 8 months ago showed my land empty. Another, supposedly from the county, showed the building as if it had always been there. "Someone's tampered with official maps," Nathan said, his voice low. "This isn't a mistake. It's deliberate." My 16-year-old son, Ethan, overheard us and jumped in, his tech-savvy brain already racing. "Let me see that PDF," he said, grabbing his laptop. Within minutes, he found anomalies in the contract's digital fingerprints, linking it to software used in property scams in Utah and New Mexico. Meanwhile, my neighbor, Clara Thompson, knocked on my door, looking rattled. "I heard you're fighting the HOA," she said, clutching a stack of utility bills. "Our water's tasted metallic since that building went up, and our bills are through the roof, even though we're using less." Her words sent a chill down my spine. Was this building hiding more than just bad paperwork? Ethan dug deeper, finding Evelyn's website, landguardians.com, where she painted herself as a victim of greedy landowners, like me. The site was absurd, with grainy photos of me and wild claims about a conspiracy to steal HOA assets. But Nathan's discovery was the real bombshell. The software Evelyn used matched patterns he'd seen in scams across multiple states. "She's shifting boundaries by exactly 3 coordinate points," he said, showing me data I couldn't parse. "It's calculated to avoid detection by federal systems." Those 3 steps weren't quirks, they were the key to her fraud. By Monday, I hired a property lawyer, Rachel Coleman, who confirmed my right to inspect the building. We scheduled a visit for Wednesday, with Nathan as our expert witness. Evelyn was waiting in the parking lot, her clipboard ready, already filming us for her property education series. Her smugness faded when Rachel handed her our legal notice and Nathan's report on digital map tampering. Inside her office, Nathan spotted a workstation with 3 monitors and GIS software worth more than my house. "This isn't HOA equipment," he said, awestruck. "This is military grade." Evelyn's filing cabinets were a gold mine. Documents detailing boundary shifts in 15 communities across Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Oregon, with spreadsheets showing $250 million in real estate fraud. Her casual boast about 15 disputes wasn't bravadoid, was a confession. Ethan's research added another layer. Evelyn Harper was an alias for Evelyn Ruiz, a former GIS specialist fired from Colorado's Land Management Department in 2021 for tampering with state records. My neighbor, George Larson, a 70-year-old retiree, dropped another clue. Evelyn had been asking who in our area still had pre-digital surveys, as if she was hunting for gaps in documentation. Nathan found her software's history, hundreds of coordinate tweaks, each shifting boundaries by 3 points to steal land bit by bit. A locked cabinet revealed contracts with accomplices in other states, outlining plans to expand into Idaho and Wyoming. This wasn't a local scam. It was a criminal network. Things escalated when Ethan found Evelyn's surveillance cameras around our house, recording our every move. He hacked her network, capturing footage of her discussing boundary fraud with a mysterious overseer who had access to law enforcement databases. This explained her confidence she had an inside man. We reached out to Lisa Bennett, a Seattle-based journalist tracking similar scams. She'd been investigating fake HOAs for months and confirmed our case matched 15 others, with $350 million in stolen property. Lisa organized a video call with victims from all affected communities, each sharing stories of fake rental agreements and legal threats. The FBI, she revealed, had been tracking Evelyn's network for a year, and our evidence was the final piece they needed. Evelyn's desperation peaked when I got an IRS notice claiming I owed back taxes on rental income from the HOA money I'd never seen. Lisa laughed. "She's handing the FBI evidence," she said. "False tax filings are federal crimes." Ethan's surveillance caught Evelyn sneaking onto our property at 2 a.m., trying to hack our Wi-Fi. But the real shock came when Lisa uncovered architectural plans for underground tunnels beneath Evelyn's offices, built as escape routes. Ethan also found evidence of industrial waste from her 3D printing equipment used to fake terrain models contaminating local water supplies. She wasn't just stealing land, she was poisoning communities. By Tuesday, Lisa told us the FBI was planning raids across 4 states on Thursday. "Stay inside," she warned. "This is going to be big." She set up a live stream to broadcast the takedown, with Ethan feeding her security footage. At 9 a.m. Thursday, Lisa went live to 1,200 viewers, showing Nathan's evidence of tampered maps and tunnel blueprints. Meanwhile, Evelyn held a press conference, claiming she was the victim. At 9:52 a.m., helicopters roared overhead, and tactical vehicles surrounded her building. Her live stream still running captured her panic as FBI loudspeakers blared. "Evelyn Harper, we have a warrant for your arrest." She bolted for her tunnel, but Ethan's footage showed every exit blocked. "This was supposed to be perfect," she screamed into her phone, confessing to 15 flawless operations. Her stream cut off as agents stormed in, her phone hitting the floor. The raids dismantled Evelyn's network. She faced 67 federal charges, including wire fraud, environmental violations, and racketeering, with a 35-year sentence. Her operation had defrauded $450 million, selling fake land titles to foreign investors. Our community turned her office into a rec center, and Ethan earned a cybersecurity scholarship. Lisa's reporting won national acclaim. 6 months later, the FBI found servers under Evelyn's office with plans to target Canada and Mexico. My fight saved thousands from her scheme. What should the FBI prioritize in cases like this: returning stolen land or chasing the masterminds? Should victims get restitution before or after convictions? Comment below, like, and subscribe for more stories of justice.